Good morning students, I am Jacob, your English teacher. So this is part 2 of the chapter Indigo from Flamingo book. So till now in the chapter we read that Rajkumar Shukla was one of the poor peasants, and Rajkumar Shukla was told by someone that Mr. Mahatma Gandhi will be able to help them. The reason was that the poor peasants were asked to grow indigo crop in 15% of their land, and indigo plantation was not at all profitable, and moreover the landlords asked them to get into an agreement wherein they would have to pay the entire harvest in order to free their land from the landlords. So they were poor and illiterate, but still Rajkumar Shukla was the one who actually stood up and wanted Mahatma Gandhi to help them in getting rid of this situation. So Gandhiji told him that he has a very hectic schedule. So wherever Gandhiji used to go, he used to follow them. So Gandhiji was impressed with his firmness, with his determination. So he agreed that okay, I'll go with you. And then when he came to, while he was on his way to Champaran, he thought that I would actually stay in Muzaffarpur for a while and inquire more about the case, that what is actually with this indigo crop thing. So then when the people got to know, when the poor peasants got to know that Gandhiji is in Muzaffarpur, they started coming over there. Okay, so they gathered over there, and when a lot of people gathered, Gandhiji listened to them, and they started telling that the arable land, the land which is for farming, the landlords asked them to crop indigo or whatever is the harvest, the entire harvest must be given to the landowners. Okay, so now let's read. So page number 49, chapter number 5, Indigo, Flamingo book. Let's read. Presently the landlords learned that Germany had developed synthetic indigo. They thereupon obtained agreements from the sharekeepers to pay them compensation for being released from the 15% arrangement. The sharekeeping arrangement was irksome to the peasants, and many signed willingly. Those who resisted engaged lawyers, the landlords hired thugs. Meanwhile, the information about synthetic indigo reached the illiterate peasants who had signed, and they wanted their money back. So what happened when the landlords got to know that Germany is developing synthetic indigo? So they played smart. What did they do? They told the poor peasants, the poor farmers, that you would actually have to pay for compensation of 15%. That if you don't want to grow indigo, you would have to pay for that 15% land. So they were playing smart, and the farmers were illiterate. So the farmers who went against the landlords, or who actually hired advocates to fight this injustice which was happening, were actually, what was done to them? The landlords hired thugs, means robbers. Okay, so they used to hire thugs in order to scare them. So when the information of synthetic indigo reached the poor farmers, they wanted their money back. At this point, Gandhi arrived in Champaran. He began by trying to get the facts. First, he visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. The secretary told him that they could give no information to an outsider. Gandhi answered that he was no outsider. So when Gandhiji came to Champaran, he wanted to collect more and more information about this indigo thing. And when he went to British secretary of British Landlords Association, the secretary denied that he would give no information to Mr. Gandhi. Next, Gandhi called on the British official commissioner of Tirhut division Tirhat division in which the Champaran district lay. The Commissioner, Gandhi reports, proceeded to bully me and advise me forthwith to leave Tirhat. So when Gandhi went to British official commissioner, the commissioner frightened Mr. Gandhi that just leave the place and go. Gandhi did not leave. Instead, he proceeded to Motihari, the capital of Champaran. Several lawyers accompanied him at the railway station. A vast multitude greeted Gandhi. He went to a house and using it as headquarters continued his investigations. So what happened? When the commissioner asked Mr. Gandhi to leave, he did not leave. Instead, what did he do? He went to the capital of Champaran, Motihari, and he was accompanied by several advocates, several lawyers, and he was also greeted by a vast multitude, means crowd. And he thought that the further investigations which he would have to do, he would actually stay here and do it in a house. A report came in that a peasant had been maltreated in a nearby village. Maltreated means misbehave. Gandhi decided to go and see. The next morning he started out on the back of an elephant. He had not proceeded far when the police superintendent's messenger overtook him and ordered him to return to town in his carriage. So what happened? While he was on his way to learn more about that, what actually happened, why was the poor peasant mistreated? So when he was proceeding, when he was going, superintendent's messenger overtook him and asked him to return. So Gandhiji complied. So complied means that he agreed, he obeyed that okay, if you want me to go back, I'll go. The messenger drove Gandhi home where he served him with an official notice to quit Champaran immediately. Superintendent's messenger drove Gandhi home, and what did he do then? He asked him to quit Champaran immediately. He gave him a notice. Gandhi signed a receipt for the notice and wrote on it that he would disobey the order. So the notice which superintendent's messenger gave, he wrote that I am not going to obey or abide by this notice. In consequence, Gandhi received a summons to appear in court the next day. So for disobeying the notice, Gandhiji was given court's order to appear in the court the next day. All night Gandhi remained awake. He telegraphed Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with influential friends. He sent instructions to the ashram. He wired a full report to the viceroy. Morning found the town of Motihari black with peasants. They did not know Gandhi's record in South Africa. So what happened when Gandhi thought that now the court, he has been called to the court, something might happen. So what did he do? He asked lawyer Rajendra Prasad to come over from Bihar to Champaran along with certain influential personalities or friends. And then morning found the town of Motihari black with peasants. They did not know Gandhi's record in South Africa. Gandhi's record in South Africa is that he actually fought for the black, because black people were considered to be slaves along with the Indians. So he actually fought for them as well. So the peasants were not knowing that Gandhi is such an influential person. He has done a lot in South Africa as well, a movement in South Africa as well. They had merely heard that a Mahatma who wanted to help them was in trouble with the authorities. So the peasants were not knowing that Mahatma Gandhi himself is in trouble because he has been called to the court. Their spontaneous demonstration in thousands around the courthouse was the beginning of their liberation from fear of the British. So when they started marching towards the court, it was the time when they actually, was the time of beginning, you can say, of their freedom, liberation from the fear of British. The officials felt powerless without Gandhi's cooperation. He helped them regulate the crowd. He was polite and friendly. He was giving them concrete proof that their might, hitherto dreaded and unquestioned, could be challenged by Indians. The officials were unable to control the crowd which was marching towards the courthouse. So Gandhiji helped them, the officials, and he was very polite and friendly. And Gandhiji also said that your might, your power could be challenged by the Indians because they were large in number. The government was baffled, means confused. The prosecutor requested the judge to postpone the trial. Apparently, the authorities wished to consult their superiors. Gandhiji protested against the delay. So what happened? Depending upon the situation, taking a look on the situation, what the prosecutor requested the judge to postpone the trial. But Gandhiji protested. He read a statement pleading guilty. He was involved. He told the court in a conflict of duties on the one hand not to set a bad example as a lawbreaker, on the other hand to render the humanitarian and national service for which he had come. So he asked not to break the rules and not to delay the time of the trial. He disregarded the order to leave, not for want of respect for lawful authority, but in disobedience to the higher law of our being, the voice of conscience. He asked the penalty due. So again another time he disagreed that he is not going to leave unless and until the court takes a decision about the poor peasants. So he was actually, sticking to his decision that I am not going to leave. The magistrate announced that he would pronounce sentence after a 2-hour recess and asked Gandhi to furnish bail for those 120 minutes. Gandhi refused. The judge released him without bail. So the magistrate said that before announcing a sentence for Mr. Gandhi, he is taking a 2 hours break, and asked Gandhi that he can do the arrangements for his bail, and Gandhi refused. So the judge relieved him without any official bail document. When the court reconvened, the judge said he would not deliver the judgment for several days. Meanwhile, he allowed Gandhi to remain at liberty. So when the court started, he said that he would not deliver any judgment for several days, and asked Gandhi that he is free, he can remain at liberty, freedom. Rajendra Prasad, Brij Kishore Babu, Maulana Mazharul Haq and several other prominent lawyers had arrived from Bihar. They conferred with Gandhi, that means they discussed what would they do if he was sentenced to prison. Gandhi asked why. The senior lawyer replied they had come to advise and help him. If he went to jail, there would be nobody to advise and they would go home. So Gandhiji asked those prominent lawyers who had come from Bihar to help him. He said, what if I would go to jail? What would you do? So the lawyers replied, the senior one replied, why will you go to jail, Mr. Gandhi? And he said that if at all you would go, then we would have nobody to give advice to and we will go back home. Now let's see what Gandhi replies. What about the injustice to the sharekeepers? Gandhiji demanded. The lawyers withdrew to consult. Rajendra Prasad has recorded the upshot of their consultations. They thought amongst themselves that Gandhi was totally a stranger and yet he was prepared to go to prison for the sake of the peasants. If they, on the other hand, being not only the residents of the adjoining districts but also those who claim to have served these peasants should go home, it would be a shameful assertion. So what happened? When Gandhiji said that if you people would go home and I would go to prison, then who is going to help the poor peasants? So what happened? They thought and thought for a while, and they actually concluded that if a stranger like Gandhi, who is not even from Champaran, is ready to go to jail and ready to help the poor peasant, then we being the belonging to or the residents of adjoining districts, and they have been serving the poor peasants, why can't they help? If they will not help, then it will be a shameful act. They accordingly went back to Gandhi and told him they were ready to follow him into jail. The battle of Champaran is won, he exclaimed. Then he took a piece of paper and divided the group into pairs and put down the order in which each pair was to court arrest. So what happened? When they said that Mr. Gandhi, we are going to go to jail if they are going to imprison you. So Gandhiji said that we have won the battle of Champaran, and then he said that he wrote on a piece of paper that how we people are going to go to he told them the sequence that how are we going to go about the court arrest. Several days later, Gandhi received a written communication from the magistrate informing him that Lieutenant Governor of the province had ordered the case to be dropped. Civil disobedience has triumphed the first time in modern India. So what happened after several days? Mr. Gandhi received a written communication from the magistrate that the case has been dropped, and finally civil disobedience has won, triumphed the first time in modern India. So civil disobedience means a lot of people went against the law, they disobeyed it, and the court went in favor of disobedience of the people. So that is why Mr. Mahatma Gandhi said the battle of Champaran has been already won. So this is all for today, students. We will continue the chapter in part 3. So thank you so much and have a good day ahead.